Review our path, and that's up on the screen. It's also, I believe, in your packet. So for the new folks, here's how we're progressing. We started on September 29th with the partnering agreement. That's the agreement that the folks just reviewed with you. We met on November 10th, and we started putting together projects for the initiatives that we've undertaken. So I'm going to review those with you in a minute. Today, on the 30th, we're going to keep working on the projects we started on last time and hopefully tackle some new ones because we've got some new people who may be interested in some new stuff. We have a meeting on December 15th. What we're going to do there is we're going to create a bundle of what we've accomplished and what we want to accomplish and hopefully go to the elected officials and say, hey, we're making a lot of progress here. What do you think? And hopefully even get more energy behind this program. And then we'll have 2 meetings in January, or perhaps one in January and February, at which I will be present, and then I will be leaving Dodge, and this team will be generating its own energy. So that's the program. We have possible speed bumps there, lack of participation. Who worked on lack of participation last time? I had a little group that was working on participation.
Putting together flyers.
Yeah. Mr. McCray, you worked on it. Let's hear it for that group. We've got about 15 more people. Lack of administrative follow-up and stakeholder resistance. I don't think we're suffering from either of those right now. Okay, so that's our plan. Facilitation process, build enduring membership. How do we do that? We did it with little exercises by making sure that the new people feel welcome. Right, Karen? That's how we do that. And we always welcome, and we promote natural leadership. And we had some great examples in the interim between meeting 1 and meeting 2. I was getting lots of emails, people creating flyers, people creating project descriptions, people calling the newspaper, the Redford Connection. Lots of good stuff happened in the last 2 weeks. So that's our plan. All right? Now, I want to take you through the minutes from the last meeting, which is underneath the plan. Okay? This is why it's important to get your email, because I send these out relatively quickly after the meetings to all the participants. So, last night's meeting of the Partnership for Better Redford Committee, that's us at the Redford Township Library, was attended by 26 participants, including 12 new committee members. Participant list attached. So, after each meeting, we send out a new participant list. We began the meeting by asking the committee members who attended the partnering session on the 29th to welcome the new folks by describing the partnering agreement. I encourage you to do that every time. Every time, introduce new people into the agreement so they know what this committee is all about. We did it tonight, and we'll do it next time if we have more new folks. This was accomplished in small groups to give the new folks a chance to introduce themselves and ask questions about the agreement and process. Are there any new folks here that have questions about the agreement and process that they don't feel were answered adequately or they want more information? Any of the new folks have any questions about what this is all about? Okay, great job. Then I presented the roadmap, which is in front of us, for the committee's activities for the next 2 months. The plan calls for the committee to develop project plans for 17 objectives. Those 17 objectives are listed in the partnering agreement, which is right in front of this email here. So last time we started on several of those objectives. The target is to have a number, not necessarily all of these plans completed in the next 2 meetings for presentation to the township board and school boards in January as a committee update. The roadmap also identifies some potential obstacles to success. I already covered those. I asked the committee to work in small groups to identify additional obstacles, and the major ones identified included lack of African Americans on the committee, lack of good communication to the community about meeting, date, time, and place, and lack of a budget for the committee to continue its work over the long term. Well, we made good progress on one of them. Then the committee began work on project plans for the objectives, and this is important for the new folks. We split into 4 groups, one each for community building, township district collaboration, and district to district collaboration. So what does that mean? So building community is overall Redford Township. Includes all organizations, all the people, and addresses projects involved with that. Tracy, you want to briefly describe one of the projects that you're working on in that committee?
The communication piece, so that people throughout the township
know what's really happening in the township. So many times people in the south end don't know what's happening in the north end, and there's kind of the Mason-Dixon line, which is known as Linden or 96, depending on your view there. We know that if we're going to build a stronger community, most people need more information and need access, because you will support those events and organizations once you know about them. If you don't know about them, you think that the township is just this dull, humdrum place. Those of you who are my friends on Facebook know that there are a lot of things that happen in this community every single day, but we need to do a better job at communicating. So that was one of the tasks that we're addressing.
Great. We also have township to district collaboration. That's Brian's group. Brian's not here. We'll go over that in a minute, some of the outcomes of that. And district to district collaboration. Ron, you want to talk briefly about the athletic initiative?
Yeah, my thoughts as superintendent, I'm trying to say something plain and simple. But what we had developed out of that is we talked about some of the low sport attendance or participants in some of our sports in our schools. We talked about how we may be able to get these two schools together, collaborate, support. One swim team for the two schools. It offers opportunity for the kids that aren't in jeopardy of those programs or those sports being eliminated due to low participation. So we thought, that would be a great conversation. That conversation grew into some very powerful things, such as how, if you reflect how powerful youth athletics is to bringing a community together. Those opportunities for those young parents to have those soccers, those t-balls, those kind of activities available to them for free or very low cost to eliminate barriers really brings the community together. Those are great opportunities to build culture and community. So very powerful stuff. And Andy Christopherson has really taken over the communication part of that and bringing some things together. So I appreciate that.
So last time we worked on 6 different projects. And new folks, you need to be thinking which ones of these you want to work on tonight, okay? Because we're going to be having a breakout session in probably 5 or 10 minutes to go forward. Building a community-oriented website, orientation for new residents regarding our community, showcasing Redford as a great place to live, improving communications for our community, establishing a free meal program for kids under 18 next summer, and unifying athletic programs where appropriate. And then what you will see in the back of this package is some project descriptions for a couple of those initiatives. Okay, so we have one which is an email, and I believe this is from Christine. Anyway, this is on the free meal program. This gives you an idea of the length of detail we're undertaking here in order to define what it is we want to do. And then following that, you'll see improving student participation in co-curriculars, another project definition form. So we're already making progress defining what it is we're doing. Tracy also has a few forms in draft. I haven't received the next version yet, but when I do, I'll put them in the library of our work. All right? So with that, I'm not going to read the rest of it, but I think I've given you an idea of what it is we're all about. Now yes, Bob.
Charlie, one of the things we did at our first meeting, for all of us first timers here, I guess you had to stand up and say who you are and kind of what your interest was here and what you hope to get out of that.
Okay.
And I wonder if that would be appropriate for some of our new people that a lot of us don't know.
Okay, that's a great idea. Thanks for helping the facilitator out. Okay, so if the new folks wouldn't mind